Hello and welcome to Thursday. Uh, Day 1001. Things are pretty much the same as they were on day 999, and they will continue to be pretty much the same. Nothing has changed. I didn't plan on making any big changes. Maybe in the new year, for January 1st, we'll do a big thing, but yesterday was special. We didn't do anything too crazy, but it was nice catching up. But today, I wanted to talk about something that I got in the mail. I ordered this toward the end of August, and it had been sitting in a warehouse in Pennsylvania for the past 3 weeks. And this is the first time I've actually used routes. Like, you know how when you order stuff, you sometimes see like, oh, this is insured by route or whatever. I was like, it's been 3 weeks. They're going to be launching by the time this video is out. They're going to be sold out, so don't even worry. The company I was going to order from is going to be selling stuff for me tomorrow at I think 9 in the morning, Eastern, or 9 Pacific, sometime in the morning for them. But again, by the time you're seeing this, it's gone. Don't worry about it. And that company is Analogue. I've talked about my love for the Analogue Pocket the past little bit and how I've been using it quite a lot recently. I did not expect myself to be using the 3DS and my Analogue Pocket so much this year, but it's been a lot of fun. And today I finally got that order. I placed an order for the hard case, the link cable, and the Analogue Dock. Now, this is what it looks like. You can see my pocket right here on top of the dock. It's a beautiful piece of hardware. I love this, like the look and the feel and the design of it. I'll give Analogue credit. They do some amazing work. Just like they're like an amazing company. I can't say enough good things about them, but I do have some complaints about this. I've only used it for minutes. And there's some minor things that I wanted to touch upon that I really love. Wish would change, but like I understand why they're not going to. Specifically, I just have one issue with it, and I understand why that's not going to be addressed ever. So this is the dock. It's great size. USB Type-C in, HDMI to USB port. The USB ports are only used for firmware updates and controller inputs. The dock supports, I believe it supports, it's either 2 or 4. I can't remember off the top of my head, but Bluetooth controllers, and you can do 2 USB controllers here. I'm sure you could probably use a splitter. I haven't tested that. I haven't had the opportunity because, I mainly play Game Boy Advance games on this, and Game Boy games. But I'm sure you could probably use multiple controllers for things like that. It'd be fun to test it out one day, but that day is not today. I have been playing Pokemon Fire Red. I know there's no cart in here because I'm playing the ROM. And don't worry, I ripped the ROM myself. Here's my GB operator. Here's my copy of Fire Red. I actually don't think I talked about this either. I got this only a couple days ago. It's the it's made from a seller on Etsy. It's called the what is it? It's the Cart Block. It's super high quality thing. It's a bit expensive, but it comes with a little like microfiber cloth with like the company made pockets. This company. It's just one guy, but like for $15, I think you could probably find it cheaper. But I like it because it's very slim and it's like basically the same, almost the same kind of texture as the button. So it feels like it was basically made. I believe it was injection molded too. Like everything else that you find will be 3D printed. So this is just a dust cover. I used to have my copy of Final Fantasy Tactics sitting in here. But now that I have this dust cover, I feel much happier. mainly because I can press the buttons easier here and like not have to worry about my finger being like up here with the cartridge. But that's more about the Pocket itself. Let's talk about the dock. So, I briefly tested this out. I mean, very briefly. I didn't play at all with it. Um, so what I did was I took this PS4 controller, and you can hook it up to Bluetooth. I tried it with the Switch Joy-Cons and with the Switch Pro controller. Uh, Big complaint number one is that I don't think you can remap the buttons at all. You can do it in the cores, but you can't do it in the menu when you're like menuing. So like if I were to load up the Pocket, there once it's on the dock, it's like, oh, you have settings for the dock. You can go to the controller, and for some reason the button mappings are grayed out. I need to look into that. It could be an issue on my end. I'm not so sure, but whenever I tried to do it, it wasn't working. It may need to be that you need to be running it on the official cartridge slot as opposed to the core, which is the program that runs all the ROMs. So that might be the issue, but it's not that big of a deal because you can remap stuff in the core. One thing of note that like you are unable to mount the D-pad at all, which is understandable, but like I feel like that's something I kind of want to do because one of the benefits of playing a Pokemon game is that all you really need is your left hand. You move around with this, and then you can map the controls so that the L button, which I have mapped to L1, is the A button. So you just move around like this, and once you're in the battle menu, you just press L1, and then you're good to go, right? Perfect. Because I really wanted to... the way I'm playing Pokemon is just I'm doing a lot of grinding. I had a 30-hour grind before hitting Brock, and now I have a very long grind before getting my third badge, and I already have like almost 80 Pokemon. It's wild. But yeah, it's a lot of grinding at the moment, and I figured if I'm going to be doing this, I really enjoy just like working on the elliptical while doing something, and I've been watching shows, and I've played Tears of the Kingdom. I tried to play Tears of the Kingdom. I could get back into that, but I feel like right now what I'm enjoying a lot is just playing Pokemon and having fun with that. Like, it's not too mentally taxing. I don't have to think too much, and I'm enjoying it. So maybe one day I'll get back into Tears of the Kingdom, have fun with Zelda, but that day isn't right now, so it's whatever. But hey, so yeah, the one thing I want to do is just like while I'm on the elliptical, I'll hold this in my left hand and I'll play with this hand and just, walk or whatever. It's fine. But like when I tried, I thought it was like, hey, this said it supported Joy-Cons, right? So I'm like, okay, let's try it. So the way the Joy-Con support is, it's basically you can only hold it sideways because the movement is tied to the thumbstick, and the thumbstick is like all weird for some reason. Like you can only hold it, like you have to hold it horizontally, so like you can't hold it in like gripped with your hand. You have to hold it like with both hands, and that's kind of my I'm like, you can't really map the analog stick or the buttons. And then sometimes the analog stick works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's fine. Like, it's not too big of a deal. It's just, it could be better. But I realize that it's probably not officially supported through the cores and whatever. It's only officially supported through the system itself, which is, again, it's fine. I actually ordered a official supported controller. It's not listed as official because it's too new and they haven't updated the firmware information sheet just yet. I don't think like this is like too new of a product, so I ordered it. It should be here tomorrow, so I'll have some fun with that. It's the 8-bit do. It's the Lite 2. It's not the Lite 2. It's like a micro kind of thing. It's missing the thumbsticks but it has like 16 buttons. So I'm hoping that'll be fine. It's very small, and like that's kind of what I want. I want something very small so I can just like, if I'm jogging or walking on this elliptical, or I can probably just do it one-handed because I'm like holding a very small controller in one hand and like have fun with that. It'll be interesting, and maybe I might be able to remap it. If not, oh well. But like, it'll be nice to have like a little charming controller like that for some games like this. And that kind of leads me into my second point, which is totally understandable. You aren't able to run this while docked without having an HDMI out, which is totally understandable. Like, why would you want to run this in the docked form while having it like this, right? Well, here's the thing. It's like, I would love to just have this sit on my desk or whatever, and then while it's running, you can see it loading the core. While it's running, I would be, I think I just caught a Snorlax. Yeah, I just got the Snorlax. Like, I'd love to have it just like sitting here and then be able to use a Bluetooth controller while lying in bed or like sitting down on my desk, and not have it plugged into a giant screen, so I can just look at this and just play, about arm's length away without holding this, because I don't really need to see that much on it. Actually, let me put this right about here. This way you can see. Yeah, so I'd be like, this is good enough for me, and like I could just like play on a small controller with it docked and with it outputting here. It's totally understandable why it doesn't work, but that was like one of the things I was hoping for when I was thinking about this previously. But it's totally fine. Like, the big gripe is just like some controller finickiness, but I'm sure that'll get fixed in later firmware revisions. But as of beta 1.1, I think what we're on, you can just put the pocket on the dock and it'll update the firmware, and that's super cool and convenient. Hopefully firmware revisions along the line will address these two issues. I doubt it for the video display out. It's a very niche issue, but it seems like it'll be like they'll probably fix some controller stuff. Again, it's only in beta, but like I'm super happy with it otherwise, because this is just a super cool product. You just plug it in, it works. That's what I like. This is such a good company. It's a good product, and I can't really get enough of this. Like, I'm gonna be using this for a long time. I got the hard case for it. It's sitting in the box right across from me right now. I could go reach for it if I'm actually. No, I won't. But being able to play with a controller like this is just super cool. Like, this is not my childhood copy of Fire Red. That got given away years and years ago. I think it might be in Jamaica at this point. And then who knows from there, right? But I just plug this into my pocket, right? This is an official cartridge that was made probably 20 years ago now. Jesus, that's wild to think about. Does this have a copyright date on it? It might. Hold up. This is copyrighted. Oh, I don't think it does have a copyright date. That'd be so cool if it did, though. No, I don't see a copyright date on it. Okay, that's unfortunate. But yeah, this was made like, I'm pretty sure it was like 10 or so years ago. 20 or so years ago, not 10. And it's insane how far technology has come, where I can just take, not even a PS4 controller, I can use a PS5 controller. I can use a controller that literally came out, that's not even on the spec sheet yet because it just came out. Or I can pair a Wii remote. I can pair a Joy-Con. I'm pretty sure the Wii remote came out in like 2006 is when the Wii came out, or something like that. Or just like any USB generic controller could probably work on this thing just fine. Like, a controller from however long ago. Should be able to work on this. No issues. As long as it supports USB or Bluetooth, right? But yeah, that's just insane to me, like how far technology has come. Where I can play a game from 20 years ago with a PS5 controller, which came out what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, with it's like a new-ish Game Boy. It's just insane, and I'm having so much fun with it. It's just so much fun, and I'm glad I bought this. I'm gonna definitely break this in tomorrow. Hopefully that controller gets here in the morning ish. So that way I can just like hop on the elliptical, play Pokemon while watching a show on the like. Oh, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I one thing I also want to do is play some other games. We'll talk about them in due time, but hopefully I'll be able to play some more games, more Pokemon games. Coliseum and XD later. We'll see. It'll be fun. But yeah, maybe some old GameCube RPGs on my Wii or Wii U. All I need to do is find GameCube games to play. But yeah, I'm happy that I bought this dock, and then hopefully I'll be able to use it to its full potential anytime soon. Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games will be a lot of fun playing this, and looking forward to just nonsense that I can get up to, because it's gonna be an adventure. For now, however, that's what we're gonna call it for today. A lot of talking, I know, but it happens. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.